Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3, and where we left off it was November 1941, and you'll notice that it is now April 1942. Now I have played the last 5 months or so off screen purely because there was quite a lot of nothing going on. I'm going to scroll out so you can see where our front line is, and as you can tell, we did not meet our, for illustration purposes, objectives. We met them nearly. The only area where we really struggled was in the north and in the centre because of the sheer volume of Soviet troops which appeared on our front. But there is good news. We are in a much more advanced position for Foul Blau than the Germans were. We've already reached the Don River, so it's pretty much a straight shot to Stalingrad, and I will envelop it. There's a couple of minor offensives going on at the moment. So there's a minor offensive taking place here, where we're trying to force back some troops to take Orel, which has been a thorn in my side. And I'm preparing my advance into the Caucasus. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit gruff. I've got a bit of a cold going on at the moment, so my voice will no doubt sound even deeper than normal. This will be a short 10-minute update video. You guys know I like to do these if I play ahead. So, what has happened in the last 5 months that's of note? Well, the siege of Leningrad has been ongoing, and as you can tell, we've only got 1 unit left in the town, or city. Thank you very much to, what's the name of the guy that commented? I think it was Overlord. Thank you to Overlord for commenting and telling me about strategic bombing in Leningrad. As you can tell, we've withdrew, we've completely decimated a large amount of their infrastructure and of their fort line. Enough for my troops to pretty much nearly make it into the town. What other things have happened? We were along this line in the north, but we've been steadily pushed back, not because of my units. I think the Finns are causing my units to have to retreat, and I'm getting a little bit sick of it. Wherever there's my units, we hold them. There are some Soviet counter-offensives occurring. The ones I'm particularly worried about are the one here, due to the fact there's 14 units in this attack. And also this one here. I've moved pretty much all of our panzer forces from the north and the centre to the south. This is one hell of a gamble that I'm going on now. Soviet national unity still stands very low at about 60%. And when we take Leningrad, that will drop even further. I'm just going to take that off Finland, like so. So yeah, there's a small amount of work to be done around the Don River, just to finish off the encirclement there. Speaking of which, we need to take Voronezhny. That's on our to-do list. That'll be my cough. And we're about to attack all across this front here. Now, the majority of Soviet armoured forces are in the south. And one thing just to bear in mind is that the 1st Panzer Division was fighting in, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, this province that's on screen at the moment, for the better part of, I would say, 4 months before I withdrew it to a more defensible position. And during that time, it fought off about probably 400,000 Soviet units by itself. It is unbelievable. I mean, look how experienced it is. 100% experience purely from those fights. So I'm very impressed. I had to change commander because we lost some commanders on the switch over. Similarly, these Romanian divisions here have been fighting off, well, how many, we can say how many it is, 250,000 Soviet troops for the better part of 2 months. And as you can tell, they've barely lost any organisation in that time. 23 units of Soviet tank divisions can't budge an infantry division and a light infantry division with no anti-tank. That's how good they're doing. It's impressive. In the south, we've got all of our units ready. The only thing that we're missing is a huge amount of supply. As demonstrated here, we have no supply whatsoever. So I'm going to need these SS divisions to break through very quickly. So that's everything really on the eastern front that you missed. We have been pushed back slightly, but not drastically, and the Siege of Leningrad is about to finish, which will free up quite a lot of divisions that I can send to reinforce the areas where we're getting pushed back a little bit in the north. We're not looking like we're going to lose any victory provinces, because the closest one is Tarvin or Tivin. We want to... My aims for this year are in the north to take Voluda and Yaroslav. Then in the south to take Orel, Vyorozhnevi, Stalingrad and Ashtaran, and then encircle and take these provinces here as well. Now from a diplomatic standpoint, I can show you quickly how we're doing. So we've just managed to get the Saudi Arabians into our faction. They don't bring a great many units though, as you can tell. They bring some basic cavalry, one tactical bomber. Really, it's just something else for the Brits to think about. As you can tell, there's quite a lot of British units just pissing about. Iraq joined the faction. And Iran, of course, is already in the faction. Afghanistan is about to join the faction. We're bringing them slowly in. And for some strange reason, Turkey seems to be drifting away from us, even though it says they're drifting towards us. I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated by that. I might invade them if they don't join us soon, because it just doesn't make sense why they haven't joined us yet. In Europe, as you can tell, the British attack in the Netherlands has, or not Netherlands, Norway has a lot of troops involved, but I've bottlenecked them in fairly well. I'll show you the infrastructure so you can see. So we're bottlenecking them here and here. So we've got 3 units bottlenecking them there. It's a shame we couldn't keep them tied up there, but I just got there too late. And we've got them bottleneck with these divisions here. And what I'm doing is I'm interdicting their supply with submarines. So sinking convoys as well in the meantime. Now, from a naval standpoint, I've had to give up a lot of our convoy raiding activities. We're still sinking a lot of their convoys, but not as many as we were doing. And we've got no convoy work going on now in the south. On North Africa, we've been pushed back out of Tobruk, and I've got my units a little bit further back at Benghazi, purely because there's way too much for me to deal with in the south. And in fact, you should not be heading in that direction. You should be heading towards Italy. I am worried about an invasion, Operation Torch, because I don't think we've got the troops to stop the Brits, because they've gone absolutely nuts on recruitment. So I see there being literally no chance whatsoever of us being able to finish them. So yeah, that really is everything. Production wise, I'm building a huge amount of submarines, and I've got a load of rocket interceptors in the queue to be built. And that really, as I say, is everything. We've got a real grip on Europe though. In the French area, we've got circa 650,000 troops. And of that, I'd say 170k of them are first rate. And then I've got another, I'd say... How many would we say? Another sort of second rate troops. We've probably got another 200k. So 300k first rate troops supported by about 300k of third and fourth rate troops. But they will act as a real delay if the Brits do land. But because of this invasion in the far north, I don't think we'll see an invasion in France for a little while. And I'm looking to train up some Marines so that I can land behind them in Bergen. Because if we land in Bergen, we'll cut off their supply and then we can take all of their units So yeah, I'm hoping we can do that. And to that effect, I'm moving around our new Silo Graf Zeppelin class aircraft carrier to support an invasion of Bergen with as many marine divisions as I can pump out. So thank you very much for watching. As you can see, we have the option for Foul Blau, which will be what we will be doing very soon. We get a load of buffs out of that, but lose some IC, and we gain 300 manpower. The plan will be to push out from our staging points here, and hopefully crush the Soviets and encircle the whole southern front, which should cause a major problem. I don't see them being able to stop us when we've completed that encirclement, and that should capture all of these tank divisions here, and we should crush them. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks again. Bye bye.